Alright, welcome to this tutorial. Now, this is a subscriber request for me to model a couple of Team Fortress props. So this is one of them, the trendy hat, and also this one, this ice cream hat. So I'm going to try to model these two within Blender. And first I'm going to get rid of the cube and create an image reference so that I can view the image while I model. So first I'm going to press Shift A, go to empty, and then create an image plane. So go over to the properties of this empty over here in the properties panel, then click on open. And then I'm going to go over to the folder containing my reference. So first I'm going to get this one first. Press S to scale this up a little bit and then just bring this aside. I'm going to create another one because I'm going to model two of these hats at the same time. So I'll go back to the reference section where I downloaded the images. So I can look up this one as well. So I'll just scale this up slightly and then just move this aside as well. So you can take note of the shortcut keys and the key presses that I pressed over these two displays over here. So I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. RX90 and then just put them aside first so that I can view them. So I'm going to use the usual technique that I usually do for modeling hats, that is to create a 8-sided cylinder. So Shift A, go to Mesh and create a 8-sided cylinder. Go over the cylinder properties over here, change it to 8-sided cylinders. And then we're going to change the cap fill into triangle fan. So when I take a look at this hat, right, it reminds me very quickly that this doesn't look too different from the fedora hat. So I can use it to use my model, my fedora hat base to model this hat out. Okay, it seems to have a much bigger, what do you call it, a polar taper. All right. So if I can show you, I'm gonna zoom in. So by studying the image, right, I can see that there's a big center portion over here. Then also there's a slight depression over here, which we're trying to go and model it in. It's got a typical bend. And then for these extension over here, the rim should be quite straightforward. All right. So we'll start off by modeling the main structure of the hat. So select the 8-sided cylinder with the triangle fan, press tab to go to edit. And as usual, I'm going to select half of the vertices over here. I'm going to press Alt Z, go to transparent mode, and press X and delete away the vertices. Select the bottom vertices and delete it as well. Then I'm going to go over to the modifier tab here and add a generate mirror so that I can have both sides that are visible. So first thing I want to do is to create the taper. So I'm going to select the center vertex here, press Shift S, cursor to selected, then go over to the pivot point to 3D cursor. Then I can select the top vertices and then scale it slightly so that I can have this structure that's visible. Okay, and I'm going to press Control R and give it a couple of segments over here. So right now for this one, I think we can use it later. Use a knife to cut this section to produce this area, but I think I'm going to work directly on the top section here first. I'm going to use my knife to press K, holding down the shift so that it cuts to the center. And then press enter to finish the cut. And also because I do not want to have a 4-sided faces when I finish the mirror, I'm going to press 2 to go to edge selection mode and select these alternating 2 edges. Press X and then dissolve away the edges. So now I can see that I can easily grab the center edges over here. So press G followed by Z and then bring it down to create this center portion looking like that. And then for these 2 edges here, I can press GG and then slide them back so that I have this center depression. Okay, and it seems like I could use another additional edge loop, or I can insert another edge loop over here. I'm going to do that right now. Control R and insert one edge loop here. All right, and then I'm gonna grab these two edges and these two edges behind. Then I'm gonna use the scale, but this time scaling it in the median point along the y-axis. So press S followed by Y and then just puff it up a little bit. All right, and then maybe these loops, holding Alt, Shift, Alt, and left mouse click. And maybe I'll just do one at a time. Then press GG and then slide them about middle. Right about here. Okay, so I can have that section. So right now I have enough section to pull in the middle portion over here. And it seems like there is a, I'm gonna go to vertex mode by pressing 1. I'm gonna use the move, what do you call it? The move manipulator or gizmo to just move this section up a little bit. And then it seems that there is a section that goes in the center here. So maybe I'll just insert Control R, insert one more edge here, select this vertex GG and push it in so that I can have this depression that goes inside over there. And okay, this one seems to go back a little bit, so I press G to push it back a little bit. And yeah, so I'm trying to create this section here. Yeah, again, I'm just trying to model this based on a single image here. And then perhaps these two vertices, I'll just push it in slightly. And maybe this one, GG, and then slide it back a little bit. Okay. All right, looking good from here. And then since now I got this extra two vertices, I can make sure none is selected first by clicking away, then shift select these vertices and push it down so that we have this center portion that's going in. And perhaps this one, I just push it out slightly. Then press GG to slide this one outwards a little bit. Okay, so pretty much I've got this section here. Perhaps the bottom part I want to open up a little bit more. I'm going to switch back to my 3D cursor as a center point. Press S to scale out. Okay, right now it's scaling downwards, but I guess it's fine. I can go down a little bit. Trying to check the proportion to make sure that's about right. I'm going to press Control R, add another loop here. So later I can use these row of faces to extrude out the rim of the hat. Okay, so now I'm going to select the bottom here. Alt, left mouse click to select this ring of faces. Then you press the Command Alt E, and then I don't really want to extrude the vertices, so I'm going to press 2 to go to edge selection mode. Press Alt E, and then extrude the edges, and then I can right mouse click so that the edges will jump back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use the scaling tool. Right now the scaling tool is going to be following the reference of the cursor. So let me see what I can bring the cursor down. So what I'm going to do is while the edges here are being selected, I can press Shift S and then say cursor to selected. So now the cursor is at the bottom here. So if I scale, I'll be scaling along the position of the cursor. So right now the cursor is more or less fixed over here. I couldn't really move it back. So it will scale out evenly based on the center here. So if I press S, I'm going to cut into my other mirror side. So that is expected. So next, while the edges are still being selected, I'm just going to pull this out until the rim are touching on the edge here. Now I'm going to turn on clipping on my modifier so that when I move back and forth, the center should stick together. Okay, so right now the rim here looks a little bit too long. I can use GG to slide it back. Okay, pressing GG will slide the rim back until I get the rim to look kind of similar to this. And you notice for this particular hat, the front here is bending down forwards, and then it goes up a loop, and then it goes back down again. So I'm going to select these two edges, and I'm going to turn on soft selection, which is over here. So with soft selection on, it will gradually affect the rest. So I'm going to try by pressing GZ so that I can move it up and down. I'm going to use my area of influence to affect the bend of the hat lines. So, right, so I have this slight bend. Okay, so now that I got this section done, I'm going to apply a subdivision modifier. So add a modifier, go to edit, generate, and then a subdivision surface. And and press Alt Z and see what it looks like. I'm going to right mouse click on this and shade it to smooth. And we are getting pretty much there. Maybe perhaps here we don't have the hard edge that we can see over for this section. So to fix that, we are going to select these 4 faces over here. And then I'm going to press I to insert a group of faces. So this additional face over here should give us a much harder looking section over here, which we can still, if you press Tab to go inside to edit. I'm going to turn on this on cage so that we can see the wireframes a little bit better. So this one, I'm going to go to the vertex mode. I'm going to try to move them as close as I can. So right now I'm just pressing GG, selecting these 2 edges, GZ. Okay, right now my soft selection is still on. I'm going to turn it off by clicking here or pressing O. GZ, just bring this out slightly. These 2 low. And also the pivot point back to median point. So I can use the move tool to push this out slightly. Okay, over here right now you can see we need another extra edge loop to make a harder edge. So I'll press Ctrl R and then insert another hard edge loop over here. Okay, so I'm going to select these 2 and just move them up slightly so that my what do you call it, the bend will look a little bit more gentle. You can also press GG to just spread them out like so. And let's see, this one probably needs to go down a little bit more, and this one go back a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the top view by pressing the tilde key and go to the top view. And just going to manually adjust this so that we got a nice and round rim. And if you want, you can go to Alt X to go to X-ray mode. So we can grab these vertices and just spread them out so that they don't have this diamond shape. So at least we have a much more, what do you call it, hat-like shape for the head's profile. All right. Okay, so now next thing is we want to give it a little bit of thickness, so we can apply a solidify, generate a solidify, and give it a little bit of thickness. Not too much, just a little bit. We just want to give it a little bit of thickness so that it has some definition to it. All right, next we want to create this this ribbon that goes around the hat. So go to edit mode, and then I'm just going to go to face mode and holding down to Alt, left mouse click to select this ribbon band over here. And I'm going to just press Shift D to duplicate. So you press Shift D, basically I duplicate the component. And I want to make this component separate from the hat. So I'm going to press the letter P, P for peeling off this section. So when I press P, selection, we essentially end up with 2 pieces. Now, if you go over to outliner, we have our original cylinder, which I'm going to call the Trendy hat. And then this one, the part that we separated from, I'm going to call it the hat ribbon. And okay, so once we created this piece, I'm going to just go to edit mode for that piece, not this, not the hat itself. So go to edit mode and press A to select all the components. You can press Alt S, it will scale it out uniformly along the normal. Alt S, okay. And because we have our, what you call it, the solidify and subdivision on, you notice the, also because I applied the smooth, the edges here are not really, in fact, the smoothness has made the shading look a bit weird. So what I'm going to do is going to insert a couple of edge loops on the top and the bottom. So press tab to go edit mode. Okay, press Ctrl R. I'm going to insert one edge loop right on top here. Ctrl R and insert another edge loop right at the bottom. So now we have a nice looking ribbon. and something that is pretty close to the target image that I have. And I think the head, the edge here, needs to bend up a little bit. So I'm going to press Ctrl R, insert one edge stroke right over here. Press 1 to go to the vertex mode, and then I have to bring this up slightly, just give it a little bit of character, like this. All right, I think this is looking pretty close. So this is for my viewer Gasman. So hopefully this is sufficient for you to try to build your own version. So yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much it. So if you want to make this, you want to give it some color, go to material properties. I'm going to give the hat a new color. And I'm just going to sample the black color over here and press Z and then go over to material preview. Then for the band, I think I'm just going to give it just a normal white color, which I'm just also going to sample it. And that's it. That's pretty much it. So if you want to make this permanent, you can join these two pieces together by pressing Ctrl J. So right now they are made out of, they are now essentially a single piece. And you have to go over to the modifier in object mode and then just apply them. Let me just save this first. Save as here. Call this the Trendy, and what's the one? Ice cream. And ice cream. Yes. Okay. All right. So now that we're done with this set, let's move on to the second one. I'll just press. Okay. Yeah. So when you're ready to export, you have to apply the modifier, which you have to click down over here, apply, and apply all these modifiers so they become permanent. All right. So let me just show you quickly what they look like. So apply the mirror. Subdivision, I'll apply the subdivision, just one subdivision, good enough. Apply and then solidify. Now, if you apply solidify, that means it will have two faces. But anyway, I'll just show you what it looks like. Just apply. And so this will be what the final, this is what the final head will look like. So if you plan to export this into a game engine market, right? Yeah, you can do this. You can pretty much sell this as a prop for, let's say, other game sources like Roblox as well. Okay, so yeah. So this can start your journey for making assets and selling your assets. All right. So now let's look at this one. Right. So how do we create this one? So let me just press Ctrl S to save this hat again. Let's see. It turns out I did not save this at all. So I'm going to save this. So I'll call this Candy and ice cream. Yeah. Then I'll say save. Now, since I saved this, I want to show you that if you make a mistake, like for example, I already applied the modifiers. Let's say I want to recover this. I want to go to recover autosave, and I want to see whether I can find my previous file. See, recover autosave. There is no last session. No, not this one. Cover autosave. So this is the only one that I have, unfortunately. So let's see. Yeah. So, okay, never mind. I think I can just recreate all of this again. Okay, back to the save file again. So for this one, same thing. We're going to create a 8-sided cylinder. Okay, low resolution 8-sided cylinder. And I'm just going to press Shift C to reset the position of my cursor. And then I'm going to also press change this triangle fan as well. I'm going to change the cylinder location to its origin. So press Alt G. Okay, press Tab to go to edit mode. I'm going to go press Z and go to normal solid shading. Now this head looks slightly, well, at least to me, it looks quite straightforward. Okay, if I study this picture, it seems that there is going to be a segment, right, that where you're going to pull out this triangular segment from there. All right, so I have to figure out how to create a segment which I can pull out that has this twin, almost like pyramid peaks on top, triangular peaks on top. All right, and it's a bit ovoid shape compared to the trendy hat over here. All right, so okay, at least now I know that this is going to be long and elongated. So while I'm in my edit mode, I'm going to scale along the y-axis. So press SY just to scale it out like this. And then we'll just figure out how to get this section out. From the looks of it, I will have to... Okay, notice I have not added any mirror yet. I'm going to just use the knife tool and then just cut everything in the middle here. Basically create that basic shape that I want first. And finally the last part here, and press enter to finish. Okay, we'll get back to selection tool. And I'm going to see where I can pull out the triangular portion over here. So it seems that I can select these two vertices and then using soft selection, then press G followed by Z like this. Yeah. And we got almost the shape that we want. And we know that these are pointed back inwards. So I'm going to press Ctrl R and create one supporting edge to right in the center here. Now I'm going to press S followed by Z to just turn off the soft selection first. I'm going to press S followed by Z and then press 0 to flatten this section because I want to create these two peaks on the hat over here. So with these 2 points now selected, I'm going to press S followed by Y so that it goes back like that. Okay. Then maybe this one, I can push it back slightly. Just give it a slight character. And then I notice that it's slightly lower as well. I'm going to push this down. And I believe I can bevel these two vertices as well. So I'm going to press Ctrl B. Wait, I just press Ctrl V. Let's see whether can I bevel these vertices. Well, it seems that I can't. Wait, I can. So Shift Ctrl B, and then I pull it out so that I have a soft corner over here. Now, problem with beveling a vertices at the point over here is that we will create something known as a multi-sided polygon. So we're going to fix this by using the knife tool to cut all the way here so that we get rid of four-sided, or rather create four-sided faces. And I think on second thought, I shouldn't cut here. Let me undo that. I'm going to press Ctrl R and insert one edge through here, Ctrl R, and insert one edge through here. And then at this point, we can cut from here to here. So press K, from here to here, center, and K for knife tool, cut from here to here, press enter. Now I'm just going to split this two into these this square face into two first. I'm going to press K and cut these two. Or you can use another method. If you can go back to selection, then select these two vertices and just press J. It will basically connect these two with edge. All right, so now I can go to X-ray mode by pressing Z. I'm going to get rid of my bottom here, bottom vertex. Press X, delete away the vertex, and delete away the front vertices here, or rather the left side vertices. So if you're trying to follow this tutorial, right, you can make sure you follow the exact orientation that I have. So right now I created a perfect half for the hat, at least for the top part. I'm going to add a mirror modifier, generate mirror. Okay, and I'm going to add a subdivision modifier as well. So add modifier, subdivision surface, and okay, so let's take a look at this in non-subdivided mode. And I think we managed to recreate this top part here close enough. So I'm going to go to edit mode again, and I'm going to, in my subdivision, I'm going to place the wires onto the mesh itself. And same thing, I'm going to get rid of the center edge so that everything will be four-sided. I want to get rid of all the what do you call that? The triangular faces. So I press X, then dissolve edges. And same thing for these. Okay, I don't need this edge anymore because I got a mirror modifier. I'm going to dissolve. Oh, I couldn't get rid of this edge for now, but once I've applied the mirror, I should be able to get rid of it. For clipping, I'm going to turn it on as well. Yeah, for now, I couldn't get rid of them, but only after I apply the mesh modifier. So I got the front part here more or less figured out. So let's go and apply a smooth. So press tab, go to object mode, right mouse click and shade it smooth. And for the bottom edge here, go number 2, Alt, select this bottom edge, and then maybe perhaps scale it slightly wider along the x-axis. Press X, scale along the x-axis. Then the next part is to create the brim around here. So I'm going to press Ctrl R, insert one edge loop right in the center around here. Press number 3, go to face selection mode, press Alt and select the face, and then press Alt E, and then extrude faces along the normal. So just extrude one small section out slightly. Now, when you extrude along the normal, let's take a look at the original mesh. So this is what it actually looks like. But when it's subdivided, right, it still has this very, what I call it, a soft edge over here. So if you want this edge to look like a hard corner, either insert another supporting edge loop near the edge here, or while the face is still being selected, we apply a bevel. So I'm going to press the shortcut key Ctrl B and then apply a bevel. Okay, unfortunately, right, it's generating a lot of triangular faces for me. I'm going to right mouse click and exit. What I should have done is to use these 2 edges instead. So press 2 to go to edge mode, hold down to Alt, left mouse click to select this edge loop, hold down to Shift, Alt, select this edge loop, and then press Ctrl B. And this will give me a much better result. And obviously, over here for the image reference, you can see that the edge is much harder here. So I want to insert one more edge loop around here. So press Ctrl R and insert one edge loop right over there. Okay, so the bottom here, you can see the faces are still not very smooth. So I'm going to right this, apply shade smooth. And I think that's pretty much it for the this ice cream hat. And if you want this section, right, to be a little bit more defined, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to select these faces. And I'm going to press an I and inset. And then I'm going to get rid of these central faces. Press X, delete away the faces. And then try to stitch the open hole here. Press number 2 to select edge, then Alt, left mouse click to select this loop. Then press G, X, bring them close together, and G, X. Okay, with the clipping on, it should stick together nicer. Okay, the reason why I'm doing that is I want to give a little bit more definition over here. I'm going to spread this out a little bit. These two, I'm going to spread them out. So press GG. This one is spelled GG, then spread it out. GG, and slide it out. This one, slide it down a little bit. So I can grab this and just twirl it up a little bit more. Yeah. So that's just an inset that I did. Then this one, I'm going to press GG to spread this back. GG to slide it back. Okay. Yep. I think this one might be a little bit too high. I'll just press G and then bring it down slightly. And yeah, so I think this is about as close as I can get this. This one I'm going to rotate. Go to the side view, press tilde, go to the right view, and then press R and then rotate it. And maybe SZ to flatten it. Okay, you can't really flatten this one here. Maybe this one, bring it down. That. And just to give it a little bit of character, just bend this down. So it's G and bring it down like that. And maybe this one rotated upwards here. All right, I forgot. I didn't press Alt Z. All right, Alt Z to go to wireframe mode. And there you go. So we have the ice cream hat. All right, so for the colors, well, we can add a couple more edge loops around here so that you can add a black strip around here. So I'm going to press Ctrl R right here and just push this one all the way up. here, and another one right about here. Okay, then I will insert, or rather select these faces. I'm going to apply two materials for this hat. So since we already had the white material, I'm going to assign everything white first. Right, so let's go to material preview. And then for these row of faces, I will just press Alt, press number 3 to go to faces first, then Alt and select the faces. And then, yeah, since we already have black, so we're going to assign it with a black material. Now, before you assign, you need to click on the plus sign to create an extra material. Then bring this the same black here, and then just assign the black color. All right. Now for the extra very fine band, I think we will need to do a bit of a UV layout in order to add this strip here. So that means we need to bring this hat into UV layout in order to, yeah, to make it. So for this hat, I'm not going to apply the solidify because we have this brim over here that gives the illusion of thickness. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to save this, incremental save, and I'm going to hide these references, and then basically, yeah, our two hats are done. All right, and I'll just turn on the, let me just apply the modifiers, apply the mirror, and maybe apply the subdivision modifier as well, so that we can see the final wire mesh and what it looks like. And I'll just turn on the, select the object, go to object, under viewport visibility, turn on wireframe all edges. Same for these, for this hat as well, and wireframe. And so that you can see the whole object in its whole glory. So right now, if you want to export this and sell this on a model store, all you have to do is just select the model and then just click on export, FBX, or any of the formats that you need to send this out to. So yeah, so this is my tutorial on how to model these two Team Fortress hats. All right, so yeah, so hopefully this is good enough for you, guessman. And yeah, thank you for watching this tutorial.